say they find too good to reject. At least that's what people think. BlackRock's 576 ETF applications, 575 have been accepted, and just one has been rejected. I know you're all asking which one. I'll tell you later.
Quite well. We work really closely with our regulators, and we want to hear from the regulators what are their issues and how can we fix those issues around that. So we hope that, like in the past, we could be working with our regulators and get the filing approved one day. And I have no idea what that one day will be, but and so we'll see how that all plays out. Specifically on Bitcoin, as I've said in the past, we're a believer in digitization of products. ETFs was a big revolution for the mutual fund industry, and it's really taking over the mutual fund industry. And we do believe that if we can create more tokenization of assets and securities, and that's what Bitcoin is, it could revolutionize again finance. And so we look at this as an opportunity to move one step further in terms of providing investors fractions of shares, fractions of this, democratizing the cost of investing. Over the last 10 years, we've lowered the cost of iShares ETFs by 30%. So what we're trying to do is make it more accessible or easy. The attempt in terms of what we're trying to do with crypto is make it more democratized with all of crypto and making it much cheaper for investors. Right now, the bid-ask spread for crypto is very expensive. It does erode a lot of the returns that you speak about because it costs a lot of money right now to transact Bitcoin, and it costs a lot of money to get out of that. And so we hope our regulators look at these filings as a way to democratize crypto, and we'll see in the future how that plays out. Well, no, I actually believe the underlying technology is fantastic because the blockchain will help you accelerate the processes of transactions. The blockchain will help you identify. I mean, let's be clear. If you have a pure blockchain and you have knowledge of who the buyers and sellers are, we could then, we don't need custodians anymore. Okay. We don't need, the whole process of finance. Some of the intermediaries are broken down. And so this is why we're all studying.
But we're not there.
We're not close to there. But it's an advancement of technology. I mean, it's no different than the spirit around AI and what AI can do.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And guys, we know BlackRock and Vanguard own everything. And plus, we know the Fed uses BlackRock all the time. So we know by them applying for the spot Bitcoin ETF, it definitely looks like another distraction. We know that spot Bitcoin ETF is definitely coming in the United States. But we know once we get that spot Bitcoin ETF, it cuts the casino out. So you definitely have to ask yourself, are they ready to cut the casino? And we have Larry Fink says he loves blockchain. And guys, we know blockchain gives the NWO the all-seeing eye. And then when you add in stable coins and CBDCs, we know it brings in the beast system. You won't be able to buy or sell. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you.
Andrew, minutes to the June meeting showing Fed officials largely believe their pause was temporary or maybe a transitory pause, and they intend to hike again. In fact, some wanted to hike at the last meeting, but they held off to give themselves more time to judge the effects of their prior aggressive rate hikes. But they were clearly not pleased with their progress in slowing the economy. Among the comments from the minutes, inflation risk was to the upside. The labor market was very tight. Consumer spending and GDP were both resilient. And this idea about housing maybe has bottomed, and it's on the way up in terms of the effects of interest rates on housing.
Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen landing in China just in the last hour. Eunice Yoon joins us live from Beijing with the latest. And Eunice, what can you tell us at this point?
Well, Becky, during her 4-day visit, Secretary Yellen is expected to meet with President Xi Jinping's new economics team, and many of whom are unfamiliar to her as well as the rest of the Biden administration. She will consult with the U.S. business community and also communicate directly what Treasury has described as areas of concern and discuss global challenges such as climate change as well as debt distress in poor nations. Now, the Chinese are seeking what they call signs of U.S. sincerity. So that is some combination of a reduction or an end of Trump-era tariffs on Chinese goods, lifting sanctions on Chinese companies and individuals, and stopping export curbs. The Chinese argument is that these tariffs only exacerbate U.S. inflation, and that the curbs as well as the sanctions are also bad for U.S. companies. Now, Yellen is viewed as pragmatic here. She has voiced in the past skepticism about the benefits of tariffs. She's called decoupling disastrous, and she's also said that she's looking to find common ground, and certainly the Chinese are also looking to find common ground and are incentivized because of the poor economic condition as well as the increasing concerns that they have about what it looks like Washington's coordinated effort to de-risk as well as U.S. allies to de-risk, that is, wean themselves off of a reliance on the Chinese economy. Guys?
And we have the Fed saying they're not done with raising rates. And guys, we know it takes a year to a year and a half for the rates to seep in. And we can already see that this economy has already been destroyed. We see how the Fed is propping everything up. Only thing you have to do is go to the Fed website. We know these small banks are finished. We know commercial property is finished. And that means mass layoffs. And we know the NWO creates the problem, wait for the reaction, and run in with the solution. And we know the solution are the robots, algorithms, and drones taking the economy over and handing the people free money and let them enter inside the metaverse. Now we have Janet Yellen and China. And we know one of the roles of the Treasury is to apply sanctions. Now they can sanction Russia all day, guys. Take all the business away from Russia, which we know China clearly has the BRICS. That's including Russia. But remember, the NWO funds both sides. None of it makes sense if you're conscious. There's no way that you can go over to China and try to smooth things out when you clearly know you have the BRICS nations, they're creating their own currency. Plus, you have the Belt and Road, which the United States is looking from the outside in. So the main reason why Janet Yellen is in China is to help them move to the fourth industrial revolution. Remember, Janet Yellen and Gary Gensler are the chess pieces to help the Fed land us in this digital transformation. So therefore, you're going to see the fall of America to Babylon, along with the United States World Reserve Currency and the rise of the emerging markets led by China with that digital yuan backed by that digital SDR. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you about it and wrote about it a long time ago because he knew. When it came to the New World Order, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers. In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
Cryptoteacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate. Not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.